I wanted to tell you guys about today. And as I go along here, feel free to please post your questions in the comments and I'll answer those as we go along here. But basically my sales dropped by $20,000 on Amazon. So at my peak about a month and a half ago, I was selling over $60,000 on Amazon. And as of today, right now, I'm down to about 43,000, which has come back up a little bit from almost down to $40,000. And really bad timing because I just got married, and on May 25th, I got married. We were on our honeymoon. Everything was going really good. Before that, sales were peaking up and looking really good. And then after the honeymoon, all of a sudden sales just collapsed and started dropping. Instead of doing $2,000 a day, I was doing $1,000 a day, or even under that, low days of $500 or less. And I was really starting to get worried, and I wasn't sure what the heck was going on, because it's just out of the blue. As far as I know, all my products are in stock. My software is not telling me that I'm missing anything or need any additional stock or anything like that. And so I really started digging into it and jumped into my Amazon back end. And also Restock Pro is the software that I use for my inventory. And I was digging through there. And I just happened to notice a product, a very good selling product that was out of stock. And so I went over to my Restock options in Restock Pro to see if it was recommending me buy it, and it was not. So that kind of had my mind boggled. I was trying to figure out, well, why is it not telling me to restock this product when I know it sells well and I'm out of stock? And I looked at it, and I'd been out of stock for like 3 weeks. So I dug a little deeper, and what I found out was that Restock Pro, the way they handle inventory, so one of my largest suppliers has frequently backstock items. And when that backstock item comes back into stock, they ship it to me. So what I had been doing is I would leave the invoice open in Restock Pro. So I would go through, I would receive all of the items that I had received from them, put them, mark them as received, save it, and then keep the invoice open or the purchase order open because I hadn't received everything and I knew that more stuff would be coming. So I had quite a lot of invoices or purchase orders that were open from this particular supplier and other suppliers as well. And come to find out, what happened is that Restock Pro does not count anything on the purchase order as having been received until the purchase order is closed and you mark it as having been shipped into Amazon. So even though I had received all that product and I marked it as having been received, the Restock Pro system thought that I hadn't received anything. So this item, along with hundreds of other items, when I looked at them more closely, it said that I was waiting to receive like 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 of them, that they were on order. So even though I was out of stock of them on Amazon, it thought that they were already on order, so it wasn't telling me to order more. So that right there basically caused my sales to collapse because I was out of stock of a ton of products. And so I went through and I cleaned up all those back purchase orders and worked with Restock Pro on how that I'm supposed to be doing that, which is basically receiving product into local inventory and then shipping it from local inventory. And once I got that cleaned up, now all of a sudden I had about $15,000 in stuff to order from one supplier. And with the other suppliers, it was over about $25,000 worth of stuff that I hadn't been ordering. And this is just a single order that's telling me to order right now. And these quantities are actually lower than what it should be, because the sales velocity had slowed down because of the lost sales. So I made those big orders, which is awesome. So now I'm thinking everything's all good. Next week I'll get this product and I'll get it into Amazon, right? Well, to make matters worse, the next week came and went. None of those orders had shipped from my largest supplier. Get a hold of my sales representative there, and he's like, yeah, unfortunately, our warehouses are really backed up right now. The products that I sell, a lot of them are in the sporting goods category, so summer is kind of the peak time for that. And so, yeah, they're back ordered on a lot of things, and they're way behind on shipping. So second week goes by, I receive a few things here and there. Third week goes by, still nothing. We're on the fourth week right now since I've ordered those products. And I just got notification yesterday that those products are shipping. So now I've got like $15,000 worth of stuff that's going to be arriving, strangely all by FedEx. Usually they do by semi and pallet, but this one's going to be by FedEx. So basically I'm probably going to have like a whole FedEx truck to myself here in a couple days, and I'm going to have to bury myself in the warehouse to get that stuff out and into Amazon, because sales are still obviously dropping. They've kind of flatlined at around the 42, 43,000. Prime Day is definitely helping. It's bumping sales up. But without all that product in there, sales has just been dropping. And I do this full time, so this is my primary income. So this is really hurting, obviously, right now. I'm not in danger of going bankrupt or anything because I have an emergency fund and stuff like that. But it's hurt, obviously, because my payouts were at about $20,000 or close to $20,000 typically. And now they've dropped down to around $10,000 for the last one. And this next one's going to be about $10,000. And I still have suppliers that I got to pay, bills that I got to pay, and myself that I would like to get paid. But it doesn't look like right now I'm going to be able to take much money, if anything, out of the business. So I'm looking at other ways to get some income and stuff like that to supplement that by doing various things online with my other businesses and things like that. But how's it going, John C. Johnson? Glad you could join us. But yeah, so what's happening there is, as I'm going to get ramped back up, I'm learning several things about my business that I want to pass on to you guys to make sure that it's not going to happen to you. So number one, make sure you're paying closer attention to your inventory than I was. I was relying too much on the automated systems. I'm not going to back off the automated systems, but I'm going to put more checks in place that are going to allow me to make sure that I have the proper inventory in stock and there's no other issues going on, so that I don't run into something like that again. And I'm going to start doing it the proper way for Restock Pro. Number two, the other thing that I realized is that I'm relying too much on one large supplier. This large supplier has been awesome. They've helped me get to where I am, and I'm going to keep buying the product that I already have. But I'm going to look harder on expanding outside of them and kind of equalize it so that 75% of my business isn't coming from one large supplier. So that's the number two big takeaway that I've had. Number three is that I'm going to build up my cash reserves for sure. I'm relying too much on net terms, and having those net terms out there and just kind of rolling the money as fast as I can. It's good. It's helped me build up to the level that I'm at and grow. But if I run into an issue like this, then now my cash reserves, they're not there. It makes it difficult to pay my suppliers on the time. So I'm getting behind paying on suppliers, which I'll be able to catch back up with that as product starts selling again. But it just adds stress that I wouldn't have if I had those cash reserves sitting in the bank. So I'm going to build up my cash reserves in the bank. I want to make sure that I at least have enough cash in the bank to run the business for 3 months if sales stopped completely. And then on a personal side, I said I have an emergency fund, which I recommend to everyone have an emergency fund. And basically what that is 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside in an emergency savings account that you would use if all income stopped coming in your life, so that you could live for 3 to 6 months. Right now, I've got about 2 months. I'm going to build that up to 6 months, just so that I have more of a security blanket there. And if issues like this arise, no stress. I have plenty of time to figure it out, work through it, and solve the issues or whatever it takes to get business going and back to where it needs to be. So that is the big issues that I ran into and why my sales have collapsed $20,000. I don't want the same thing to happen to you guys. That's why I'm doing this live and I'm recording it. I'm doing it on Instagram and YouTube. YouTube will have it permanently. And you can check this out and understand some of the issues that can come up. So yeah, let me know. I don't see any questions right now from anybody. If anybody has questions, post them in the comments and we can answer those quick. Other than that, business is starting to ramp back up. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And once that product gets here and I can get that shipped back in, I got a feeling my sales are just going to be skyrocketing, because I was on a path of increasing about 20% in sales every month up until this problem hit. So I got a feeling once everything gets back in there, what it's looking like, my sales are going to bounce back to that 60,000, probably go to 70 or 80,000 for next month if all goes according to plan. In addition to that, on the front of looking for suppliers, been going crazy on contacting suppliers on that. And one thing that I'm really doing now is trying to contact brands directly and get their permission to sell their brands. And while a lot of people say no, most brands will say no. Nowadays, it seems like they don't want more Amazon sellers. So what I'm doing to get past that, or trying to anyways, is offering or saying that I understand that you don't want more Amazon sellers, because if I was a brand, I wouldn't want to either, because too many Amazon sellers competing against each other is just going to drop prices, erode the prices, and decrease the value of your brand. So what I'm offering to them is the extra service of what I will do if they allow me to sell their brand is I'm going to optimize their listings. I'm going to build their brand on Amazon, help them control their brand better, and get more sales on Amazon. And so I think that's the way to move forward. I actually have one supplier that contacted me yesterday and said, okay, we're good to go. Let's do this. And some of their products sell 400, 500, 600 per month. And I'm going to be taking it over. They actually, right now, they work with Amazon directly, and they're going to cut off Amazon, stop selling to them because it's so annoying, selling to Amazon because Amazon has them sending stuff all over the place, and they're just going to work with me directly. So picking that one up, I've got a couple other in the pipeline that are looking positive, like I'm going to be able to take those over as well. And I'm contacting new brands every day to bring in more products. And then in addition to that, I'm adding a private label line as well. I've done some private label in the past. Hasn't really worked well. I've broken even on some of the products that I've done. But this time I'm trying to build a brand, and it has to do with my passion, which is being in the outdoors and fishing and stuff like that. And I'm going to build a brand around it, working with the supplier and also working with a group of people on Facebook. We created this product and optimized it and made it perfect for the people that I'm targeting. And the supplier is currently in manufacturing for that, and I should have that product going here in a couple months. So that's going to be adding to the business as well, and a whole another level there as well. So business is looking good right now. It feels really bad. It kind of sucks that things have collapsed when I was on such a good roll. But the main thing is understand that we all are going to fail. But successful people learn from their failures, move forward, become better, and grow their business. So I hope you guys all do the same. I know you can. Keep on moving forward. If you have any questions or anything like that, shoot me a message on Instagram, send me a message on YouTube, or go to my website, entrepreneuradventure.com. Click that subscribe button down below so you can get more awesome videos and stuff that I post all the time on what I'm doing in my business and software that I use and reviews and things like that, that hopefully will help you sell more as well. So other than that, I think we'll wrap this up. This is Todd Welch with Entrepreneur Adventure signing off. Happy selling, everybody. Have a good Tuesday.